If you clicked on this video, you already know what's going on. And I just want to say up front, this is one of the most common things men deal with, and almost nobody talks about it honestly. Most videos on this topic are either way too medical and boring, or they're secretly trying to sell you a supplement. This one isn't either of those. I'm going to walk you through 5 things that are genuinely backed by research, that actually moved the needle for me. And I'll tell you which ones are overhyped while we're at it. So stay until the end, because fix number 2 is the one most guys skip, and it's probably the most powerful one on this list. Quick thing before we get into it, because understanding why this happens makes the fixes make a lot more sense. An erection is basically a blood flow event. Your brain sends a signal, blood rushes in, and the vessels hold it there. Simple enough. The problem is, the blood vessels in that area are actually smaller than the ones near your heart. So they're the first ones to show signs of trouble. Things like poor circulation, high blood pressure, inflammation, or low testosterone. Here's the wild part. Research shows that ED often shows up 3 to 5 years before heart disease symptoms. So if you're experiencing this, your body is actually giving you an early warning signal. The good news? That means the fixes are lifestyle-based, and they work fast. Fix number 1, move your body. And I know that sounds basic, but hear me out. A Harvard study found that just 30 minutes of walking per day is linked to a 41% reduction in ED risk. Not intense training, not a gym membership, walking. The reason is blood flow. Cardio exercise, even moderate stuff, improves how your blood vessels dilate, increases nitric oxide production, which is literally the molecule that triggers an erection, and reduces the inflammation that clogs things up. If you want to level up, resistance training helps raise testosterone naturally. Even 2 sessions a week makes a meaningful difference. The key is consistency. 3 months of regular exercise is where men typically start noticing a real change. Action step. Commit to 30 minutes of walking every day for the next 30 days. That's it. Start there. Okay, this is the one I promised you. And this one blew my mind when I first came across it. Pelvic floor exercises. Kegels. Yes, men should be doing these. There's a British clinical trial where men did targeted pelvic floor training twice a day for 6 months. 40% of them regained normal erectile function. Completely. No medication. The pelvic floor muscles are directly involved in holding and sustaining erections. When they're weak, which happens from sitting all day, age, or just never training them, everything suffers. Here's how to do it. Tighten the muscles you'd use to stop yourself from urinating midstream. Hold for 3 seconds. Release. That's 1 rep. Do 10-15 reps twice a day. You won't feel much at first, but by week 4 or 5, you'll notice the difference. This is genuinely underrated, and it costs nothing. Fix number 3, what you're eating. There's a study of over 25,000 men that found those who ate foods rich in flavonoids, things like berries, dark chocolate, citrus, red wine in moderation, were significantly less likely to develop ED. The Mediterranean diet consistently comes up in the research. We're talking oily fish, leafy greens, nuts, olive oil, legumes, whole grains, less processed food, less sugar, less alcohol. Now I know that's not a radical revelation, but what I will highlight specifically, nitric oxide foods, beetroot, spinach, arugula. These are high in nitrates, which your body converts to nitric oxide, which is directly involved in getting and maintaining an erection. Cut the alcohol. I'm not saying never drink, but chronic heavy drinking damages blood vessels and suppresses testosterone. If ED is a real issue for you right now, alcohol needs to take a back seat. Smoking. If you smoke, this is the single biggest thing you can do. Nicotine constricts blood vessels, and the damage it does to vascular health is a direct cause of ED. Full stop. Fix number 4. And this one hits different when you actually understand the mechanism. Testosterone is produced during deep sleep. Most of your daily testosterone release happens between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. during REM cycles. If you're getting poor sleep, whether that's too little, broken sleep, or undiagnosed sleep apnea, your testosterone levels are chronically suppressed. Low testosterone doesn't just kill libido, it makes erections harder to achieve and harder to maintain. The fix is less glamorous than a supplement. Get 7 to 9 hours, keep a consistent sleep schedule, and if your partner says you snore heavily or stop breathing at night, please get checked for sleep apnea. That one is massively underdiagnosed in men, and it hammers erectile function. Sleep is free. It's powerful. Most guys don't treat it seriously enough. Okay, supplements. I know this is what a lot of guys come looking for. So let me be straight with you. The FDA has issued warnings about a huge number of these products. Most supplements sold for ED are either ineffective, unregulated, or worse, secretly contain prescription drug compounds that can be dangerous. However, there is one that is helpful while you're getting things in order with the things we've talked about. View it at the end of this video. There is actual evidence behind it. L-arginine and L-citrulline. These are amino acids that boost nitric oxide production. Multiple studies show meaningful improvements in erectile function, especially at doses of 1.55 g per day. L-citrulline converts to L-arginine in the body and is actually better absorbed. Vitamin D. Low vitamin D is consistently linked to ED in research. A huge proportion of men in the UK and northern climates are deficient. Get your levels tested. Supplementing is cheap and the evidence is solid. Which brings me to fix number 6, which isn't really a fix, but it might be the most important thing in this video. I want to talk about this because nobody does. Performance anxiety is a real physiological loop. You worry about whether it's going to happen. That worry triggers cortisol and adrenaline. Those hormones literally constrict the blood vessels you need. So the worry causes the problem. Then the problem causes more worry. If your ED started after a stressful period in your life, or if it's situational, happens with a new partner, or when you're tired or drunk, there's a very good chance the primary driver is psychological, not physical. That's not weakness. That's neurology. Stress management, whether that's exercise, which we've covered, better sleep, covered, meditation, therapy, or just being honest with your partner, has a direct, measurable impact on erectile function. So to recap, the 5 things that are actually worth your time: 30 minutes of cardio daily, pelvic floor exercises. Seriously, don't skip this one. Clean up the diet. Flavonoids, nitric oxide foods, cut the alcohol. Protect your sleep. Use the recommended booster supplement with L-citrulline or L-arginine, vitamin D, and talk to a doctor if symptoms persist. If you've been dealing with this for more than a few months, or it came on suddenly, or you've got risk factors like diabetes or high blood pressure, please see a doctor. There are genuinely good treatments available, and there's no shame in using them. If this video helped, subscribe and drop a comment below if you've tried any of these.